Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest narration in the web series The Burning Ones. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist listed down below in the description. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Chapter 9. My eyes stung from the searing light. My bones trembled against the noise. Shadow's wings pulsed and flared, flashing through a spectrum of vibrant colors. As he expanded himself, displaying his might, his eyes burnt purest blue. The other one screamed. It screamed so loudly. It posed, body low to the ground, wings coiled outward and back like a serpent, ready to strike, hovering over its fallen charge. As it screamed, fires burst from its savage maw, throwing sparks and embers in all directions. P.E. ran past me, red pack in hand. She couldn't see what she was rushing into. The monster's hand reached towards her, the flames from its mouth battering the floor beneath the Katsunan's feet. She stumbled and fell, cast down unburnt by the otherworldly flames. The medpack tumbling out of her grasp and rolled. Madison stood and walked towards the fallen equipment. The monster turned its maw on her. It was too slow. Shadow moved, a whirlwind, graceful like a moon dancer's of Allurian. His wings wrapped around Allison as she walked. The fire struck them and rolled off. It was nothing to him. Allison retrieved the device and approached the child on the ground. The monster renewed its assault as they approached. Shadow dashed his wings together. A concussive shockwave pushed the other Dark Guardian off balance. Shadow leapt into Allison, his form melding with hers as she knelt beside the child. She blazed with golden light, surrounded by an aura of power, a healing angel of mercy, like human painting. V.E. skidded across the slick floor, rubbing her bruised elbow with one paw as she came up. Together, she and Allison righted the human child, ripped open his shirt, and applied the medical device. As they worked, the Dark One wailed. First, it turned its fire upon Allison, but Shadow's aura repelled the flames. Then, it reeled back and drove forward with its wings like twin hammers. Shadow's wings sprouted from Allison's back, catching hold of the rivals and dashing them down across the deck. The boy stirred. The monster froze. Respiration rising, Allison said. Her smile was audible. Poor thing. It's all bones, V.E. marveled. This is not normal for a human pup, no? No. He's starving. Could have been trapped here for weeks, maybe more. Gunfire in the hallway. Taika was growling. We're running out of time, I said, nervously watching the boy's guardian where it stood motionless opposite Allison, smoke still trailing from its lips. Medpack's not done yet, she said. We're not supposed to move him. Culvert, locate alternate points of egress. Scanning. Marking. I'll buy you guys some time, I said, and switched my visor into close quarters tactical mode. Then what? Allison asked. She was gently stroking the child's hair, and he was starting, ever so slightly, to stir in her arms. We bust out. I watched as Culvert's markers popped up on the screen and pointed. Right there, V.E. You cover Allison, and as soon as the kid's stable, you guys kick it. What is our method of ingress? We didn't plan for this, Corvid. What did you plan for, Featherbrain? Loosely, I rolled my eyes and my shoulder blades. We planned very poorly. Tactical update? I think I hate humans. Me too, Corvid. I took a practice swing with my sword and jogged towards the doorway. Tiger had wedged himself into his opening, but some plasma was dripping off of his carapace around the edges. Tiger stuck. Give me a boost, Corvid. Tack boost. Available. I doubled my speed, legs pumping, talons puncturing the floor for traction. I leapt into the air, wings tucked, feet curled into tight balls. The dorsal thrusters fired, stabilized my arc as I flew up through the tight loop, and then careened towards Taika. One order of ballistic Kokorins served. My knees and elbows plowed into Taika's chest. The suit absorbed the impact. We blasted out the door, taking a piece of the dam with us. The pig were clustered far too close to the opening to escape the onslaught of Taika's weight. 10 hostile targets remain, but show more on approach. Minimal combat time available. You good, buddy? Dizzy. Link up with the others, I said. The excitement of battle was creeping through my muscles and into my brain. I'm right behind you. Taika rose from the ground with his stony rumble and a few squelches. Oh, badge go. My left wing snapped up in front of my face. I heard a sizzle of burning plasma. You are molting, Chief. Thanks, Corvid. I swallowed some bile. the tightening of my grip on the blade, and leapt into the fray. My heart leapt with me. My first strike took the nearest phage head. I whipped my wrist, freeing the blade from the armor and bone. Another strike sent a mass, recoil, and reset. 2 arms cut free of their owners. These wouldn't be fighting anytime soon. Still, as I rushed through the gap I had made, Corvid flexed our wings and cold-cocked both soldiers in their meaty jowls. My eyes dilated. The rest had formed a firing line, 2 deep, 3 wide. Emergency countermeasures. Flak out. I drove sideways. My talons punctured the side walls of the corridor as I continued running. My wingtips spat fire and smoke. The phage fired wildly. The heat was intense. I could see through the smoke in infrared. I could see the blood inside their bodies. It was begging to be set free. I coiled my wings around myself and launched from the ceiling, corkscrewing violently through the firing line. My sword whistled. My wings sang. My heart leapt with vigor. It was over. Chief, that was poetry. Moving now, Allison's voice cut through my blood-addled high. You with us? When I returned to the hold, I saw Tyker had torn a hole in the wall, opening way for our escape into another corridor. V.E. was cautiously probing the opening with a human shotgun, but I still wasn't sure what that weapon did. Allison was carrying the child in her arms. Shadow had remained bonded with her, only his wings were visible. The dark guardian stalked nearby, now less antagonistic, but still obviously agitated, growling and occasionally spitting fire. Let's get out of here. I led the way through the breach, working hard to ignore the terrifying snarls of the boy's guardian spirit. Corvid, find us some life pods, a shuttle, anything. We have to get off the ship. Good news, Chief. There are plenty of breaching craft aboard this vessel. Which way? I asked for a marker on my HUD as we ran. Nothing appeared. Which way, Corvid? Bad news, Chief. We can't get there. I saw Allison running beside me. She had the child cradled in her arms, his body hanging partway over her shoulder. Her left arm jerked up. A giant silver pistol spouted fire. A phage soldier dropped in front of us, and she leapt over the corpse. Give me options. More soldiers were appearing from the doors on either side of the hallway. We'd be surrounded soon. We cut a tight corner. It was blocked by phage soldiers, guns raised, waiting for us. V.E. skidded past me, screeching as she failed to stop. Her shotgun went up. The discharge was deafening. The gore was, well, let's face it, very human. There was nothing left of the soldiers above the shoulders. Strategic option. Command center ahead. Defensible position available. I lunged forward, outpacing my companions. Breach! The control panel at the end of the hallway exploded in a blaze of purple light. Shadow. The doors opened and I blasted inside, flying at full speed. I don't remember how many there were. I just remember the blood. I was getting tired. Anderson laid the boy down beside a console. He would be safe for now. The hallway was full of soldiers. Allison and V.E.'s human firearms were spitting fire and dropping enemies swiftly, but not swiftly enough. Tiger stood in front of them, blocking the weapon's fire with his body, and roaring savagely. Running out of ideas here, I shouted and dove for cover beside Tiger. The boy was standing now. Last ditch. Allison ripped her necklace off, pulled a small box from a pouch at his side, inserted the rectangular pendant, and then twisted like an antiquated key. The boy raised his arms. He stumbled weakly past me. Deep Spacer Allison Miller. I didn't hear the rest. There were flames forming on his body. His guardian was laughing. End of chapter. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps. Cold War Boomerwaffen, Sevaren Serberous, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Casper Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon W.R.E, and Sevaren Serberous. Thank you very much.